Welcome everybody to another Fundy Motorsports Magazine special event. Today, our final in the series of races from Petty Raceway featuring the MASCAR Racing Series.
We're speaking today with Mr. Greg Seward in car 99, and Greg was the winner of last week's 250 race down in Antigonish. Greg, what did you find? How did you find that race?
We enjoyed running the 250 laps. We haven't done that for quite some time. It was quite humid though, and that sort of took a toll on a lot of people, but we managed to make out all right at the end of it.
Did you find that affects your racing, your style of racing in it all? The heat?
The heat, yeah, it would after. During the cautions is when it really bothers you. Then you start thinking about it and you start feeling the heat a lot more than you do when you're racing, but we managed to make out okay.
Sure. Okay, now I see as well you're first in the standings now. How do you see these points from today and last weekend's race carrying you through for the rest of the season?
Well, we have 3 races counting today left, and we're hoping just to maintain the lead and maybe just try to make it a little consistent finishes and through the last 3 races, and hopefully we'll come out on top.
So you're going to be running a conservative race, or you're going all out today?
Just depends the situation at the time on the racetrack, I guess.
Okay. Greg, any predictions on how things are going to run today?
Well, we got another hot day, so hopefully we can make it to the front, and we're going to be starting in the back, so we're just going to take our time and come up through and work things out that way.
Okay. Good luck today.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
As starter Art Steves gets his flags warmed up for a day of racing. Let's give you a rundown here of the current point standings. You have Greg Seward in the lead with 1,018 points. Terry Clattenburg falls into second place with 990. Shortly behind him, car 10 of Ed Hayden with 977 points. Mike McKenzie's holding 4th place, and Dean Clattenburg is in 5th, only 1 point behind. In the earlier heat races, here's the standings of how they placed in those.
Well, here come the cars rolling out now for today's feature, 100 laps of MASCAR racing. On the pole, we have Doug Hill, number 36 from Moncton, New Brunswick. Outside of him, 48 Jim Dunn, followed by row 2, 25 Mike Ryan, and 21 Dave Pierce. Taking up the 5th position is John March from St. George.
6 is Cy Harvey from Nova Scotia.
49
Cy Harvey from Nova Scotia. 6 George Cosgrove. 2 Terry Clattenburg. 67 and 24 Scott Livingston.
Then we have 30 Doug Stokes from Newfoundland. Number 1 Danny Eddy from Halifax. 92 young Dean Clattenburg. 10 Ed Hayden. And 02 of Mike McKenzie from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia.
16th position is 99 Greg Seward. Following him is 00 Scott Frazier, 17 Paul Hubert from Shediac, 44 Wayne Smith, 33 Bob Ewell for 20th.
And the final four are Dave Gorvet, car 77, 84 Pierre Arsenault, 31 Sean Conrad from St. John, and 26 Merrill Kerr. Starter Art Steves now showing 1 lap to green. 1 lap to green.
Now this is our third race at Petty, and again a gorgeous day. Lots of fans, big crowd.
It's just ideal if you want to sit out and watch a race anywhere. This is the place. You've got beautiful sunshine, warm weather, a little bit of cloud for shade now and then.
That's good for the drivers. It's not so hot for them in their cars, because in the afternoon races it can get extremely hot for the drivers.
And it's time to heat action up right now as they're coming to the green flag. Doug Hill leads them into turn number 1. Everybody's through there clean. Doug Hill looks like he's got himself a little bit of a break there. Many of the cars still lined up 2 by 2s.
Doug Hill is a local favorite, being from Moncton.
And he got himself the pole position because he won his heat race. So he's looking for checker flag number 2 today. On the move on the outside in 5th position, we have Terry Clattenburg, another heat winner. Terry's fighting it out with Mike Ryan at the moment.
The field is starting to spread out here. Terry Clattenburg is in 2nd position in the points, so he wants to quickly move up to try to beat Greg Seward. Greg is 28 points ahead of Terry at this present time. Of course, there's 2 more races to go.
And number 2 position, it's just like being the bridesmaid.
That's right. The points pay bigger for number 1.
Cy Harvey's managed to move in on Doug Hill. He's going to... Oh, car 25 spun up on the... I believe he's on the tires in the backstretch.
Yes, right in the corner, just going into turn 3.
We have our first yellow flag now. I just saw something interesting there. Was it a fact of Doug Hill slowing down, or was Cy Harvey faster?
Cy Harvey did excellent last week in the 250, so I think he's got some extra power in there. He certainly has been proving very well in the past couple of races, up front most of the time.
And he was a winner last time here at Petty. Terry Clattenburg, number 2, we were just mentioning he's 2nd in the points. Earlier we had a talk with him in the pits as to what he thought of being 2nd in the points.
Terry, what are you going to try and do to get yourself back up into 1st place?
Well, we've been sort of off the pace a little bit this summer. New car, and you know, the car's been off a little bit. We were down a little bit in power. We put a new engine in this week to help cure that problem. Now it's a matter of getting the horsepower to the racetrack, and you know, we did some work here this afternoon. We're not satisfied yet, but you know, we made another change for this heat race. We'll see how that works, and hopefully we'll get it together.
Well, they've extricated the 25 car, Mike Ryan, from the wall. Does it look terminal to you, Mary Jean?
I'm not sure. He went back into the tires, so he may have broke something, possibly shocks, maybe something with the rear end. There's so much underneath those cars in the back.
I would say that he's got more than rear end, because that front right tire is not pointed the same direction.
No, that's definitely a ball joint, I would say. He must have hit it front and then turned around and swung in the back.
Yeah.
Now, he was running really good. It's unfortunate that he's taken out so early in the race. He seemed to be up there with the front runners.
He definitely was right up there with them. Well, maybe they'll do some little welding back down in the pits, and he'll get back and manage to get some points.
That's one thing at Petty Raceway. There is a welding truck here, and he's excellent. He knows his work, and he'll go right to it and help the guys any way they can.
Okay, the 25 car is going to the pits now. Art Steve's giving them the crossover flags. We'll be back to racing here within a couple of laps. Well, it looks straight now. George Koskulik is on the tail end. I see George has a for sale sign on his car. I hope that's not the kiss of death.
No, what he's doing, he plans on buying, I was told, a new car. So he's looking for a new one for next season. If he doesn't sell this one, he said he's going to have this all painted, and he'll have two cars. If anything happens to one, he'll have the other. But of course, in this business, you know, you always like to have some extra cash rolling around in case you need parts. So if you can sell it, that's great. And like I said, I was talking this morning, and if he doesn't, well, he'll have the both of them. Maybe his wife, Liz, will drive one.
That would be an interesting combination. A little tag team action.
Yeah.
They can take it out on each other on the track rather than at home. Well, the pace car has gone to pit lane. Expecting green flag this time around.
Now 24 cars started the feature today. 4 cars did not make it. Number 15, Cameron Comrade, 40, Mel Burton, 8, Leo Cochran, and 28, Al Vincent. Because as you know, 24 cars can only run on this track. It's a very quick track, so 24 is all that can handle.
Well, now we're able to find out just how quick Cy Harvey was. He was able to take the lead away. And now he's got Terry Clattenburg knocking on his door. Mike Dunn is going to find himself in a lot of action here today. Sorry, that's Doug Hill, not Mike Dunn.
Now Terry Clattenburg is up to 3rd, and he originally started at 8th, so he's moved up quite quickly. Now Greg Seward, he started 16th, and I believe he's up to about 7th position, 8th position, 10th.
Oh, we have car 1. He spun in corner number 4. Hopefully that's just tire smoke.
Just a little bumping?
Just a little bumping. One car is Danny Eddy from Halifax, Nova Scotia. I think he's going to sit up in the corner and cool it a bit. Oh, he's away. Lots of close, tough racing here early in this 100-lap feature. Of course, we are getting down to the end of the season, and every single point is tough to come by.
It makes the difference. There's 39 MASCARs registered this season, so all of them are in the points running. And they all want that big trophy.
Now, are there any other incentives this year, like a trip to Daytona or anything like that?
Last year, that was the Budweiser shootout with the 4 laps here at Petty. This year, Budweiser is not doing that. There is the 4 races that we are having with the Budweiser event, but they're not getting into anything as large. Of course, the top 5 get special incentive with extra monies, and then the points go down from there.
That's a Skull Inc. needs top fast 5.
And right now, the 5 that are in that are Greg Seward, 99, Terry Clattenburg, number 2, Ed Hayden, number 10, Mike McKenzie, 02, and Dean Clattenburg, 92. And Dean's right on the bubble there, and he's very, very close. Him and...
51 points ahead of Wayne Smith.
That's right. And between 4th and 5th, there's only 1 point.
Lots of close action. This championship is by no means sewn up yet.
This race this evening, however this feature finishes, then we have next week in Scotia, Sunday afternoon. And then, of course, we come back here September the 18th at 7 o'clock Saturday evening, and that will be the final night. At the end of that evening, we'll know who's the winner. Again, we have the banquet coming November the 6th for the MASCAR Tour. It is held in the Dartmouth in the Holiday Inn, and any fans are more than welcome to come. So if they just like to see myself, Mary Jean Brown, I certainly have tickets for them.
And you could contact anyone in your area.
Anyone involved in racing, certainly with the MASCAR Tour, can put them onto the right people to purchase tickets for that night event. It is a dinner, awards, and a dance that follows. And it's nice to see the drivers dressed in their finery, no race suits, no dirt, no grease. They're all spiffied up.
And probably a little bit of shop talk about who did what during the season.
And what they're going to do next year, and the rumors start and the rumors end, and there's a lot of going on that evening, and everybody's very laid back, casual. It's a really good evening.
Now, as the pace car is leading them around, that is a new pace car we have here.
Yes, it is. The Pontiac.
Now, the reason I brought that up was there was a little presentation here earlier, and they gave away the old pace car.
That was drawn. You were able to purchase tickets, and it was drawn last week at the 250 in Antigonish. And the gentleman that won it was Gary Johnson from O'Leary PEI, and he had the choice of winning cash or choosing the car, and he chose the pace car, the Z34
Chevy.
Yes.
Chevy Lumina Z34, and he got to do a couple laps on the track here with it. I think he had a little fun there.
We had the Good Ranch representative last week who picked the winning ticket.
And they're coming back to the green flag. Cy Harvey leading Doug Hill and Terry Clattenburg coming into turn number 4. Dean Clattenburg right behind Terry. And Doug Stokes on the outside. Uh-oh, we have car number 17.
We have a flat tire on Paul Hebert.
And not everybody decided to go on the outside. Bob Buell is involved in that. Pierre Arsenault is involved. Looks like the number 13 was able to get away with it. George Koskulik took a ride down over the side. What was I saying about having a for sale sign in your car?
I don't know. Only sheet metal damage, though. That's easily rectified. 17 was trying to limp off the track, but the other cars just came up too fast on him, and they weren't able to get slowed down as quickly.
Yeah, he was in the center of the track here on the front stretch, and everybody had to make a decision which way to go.
That's right. The up front cars now were able to see, just the back cars didn't catch it.
Unfortunately, that's right. The cars at the rear have no idea that he's there. Pierre Arsenault is able to get away. The 33 crew, Bob Buell, working frantically in the pits, trying to get him back in order again.
It didn't look like Bobby did any more than a little bit of sheet metal damage as well. Probably the front around, maybe fenders.
Basically, the bodies are mainly to put your advertiser, your sponsors on, and to help a little with your aerodynamics and keep it underneath the rules. It is stock car racing.
That's
you want
right.
the body configuration.
And we want the cars to look good at all times for the fans and for the sponsors. And of course, once again, Glenn Brown from St. John is driving the pace car.
New wheels this week. And as usual, the fans have turned out to a pretty good turnout again today.
Oh, beautiful. You know, what better way to spend a Sunday afternoon for the race fans? Nice, hot, laying back, enjoying this. Tomorrow's a holiday, so they have a restful day. Excellent, excellent crowd. Now Bobby Ewell is back on the track. He will follow up at the rear. If you do go off the track for any reason, when you come out, you go in last position. And at present time, all cars are on the lead lap, so he'll just fall in behind.
How many have I got left there?
They're still working on Paul Hebert's. It looks like the tires changed and he should be getting ready to go back out, so he won't have missed any laps as well. He'll be right on the lead lap.
And an earlier casualty, Mike Ryan, looks like he's going to be pulling out of the pits as well.
Now Mike is down some green laps, but it shouldn't be very many, probably maybe 4 or 5. I'm not really sure on that, but he shouldn't have lost too many laps. So now as he's back out, he will have to go to the inside of number 49. We will have one lapped car.
And when he left the track, he was running right up there with them, so I wonder if he's going to stay there with them.
It just depends on how much damage that he did.
Paul Hebert did get his tire changed. He is going to return. George Kozgulik has made numerous trips to the pits today, but he's able to stay in the lead lap, taking advantage of all the yellow flags. Not sure what his problem has been.
Well, he went down over turn 1 when Paul Hebert was going off with a flat tire. So he probably did some sheet metal damage or maybe something to the undergear of the car when he went down over the hill. It's quite rocky as you go down over the bank, number 1.
It's not the racing line to be down there.
No, pavement is the way to go with these cars.
Pace car pulling off the track. Our Steve's getting them all tightened up. And they're on the gas.
Cy Harvey once again got the jump on the 36 car. He certainly is pulling away from the rest of the field.
And now is the time to take advantage of that. Uh-oh. Mike Ryan got into Terry Clattenburg, moved him down. Everybody's backing up. Terry Clattenburg lost about 5 positions in that altercation.
Sure what happened to Mike Ryan at that particular time. He seemed to slow right down.
Well, because of all that bumping, Cy Harvey's got himself clear track, as well as second, third place car. Then comes the battle following car 30 of Doug Stokes. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th position. They're all very close together here now. That includes Mike McKenzie, Scott Livingston, 99 car Seward, 44 Wayne Smith, 10-8 Hayden, and then finally Terry Clattenburg. Terry lost about 8 positions. It's going to be hard pressed to make that up now. But there's lots of laps left. Oh, we have a spin in the backstretch. 67, the Henderson car. Steve Henderson is spun around in the backstretch.
There was no other car involved in that. So it's just Steve Henderson himself that, I believe a car touched him. I wasn't looking at that area at the time, so I'm not sure which one did.
Yeah, I was up with the, another group of cars. Oh, looks like Mike Ryan's car was involved with something there too. Uh-oh. I think somebody's going to be leaving the track here. Mike Ryan.
As far as I'm concerned, probably maybe both should. Both very ungentlemanly conduct.
That appears to be the case. Mike Ryan has definitely left the track. Okay, we're ready to go back to green here at lap number 38. In the 13 car, John March is a lap car on the inside. Cy Harvey gets around him.
Once again, Cy Harvey's pulling away.
Certainly able to take advantage of each of these green flag starts. Clear track, he's able to pull right away. Back behind Cy is the 36 car of Doug Hill, followed by 92 of Dean Clattenburg.
Cars second back are very close. Positions are changing continually.
As they come through, still a lot of tight racing. We have 49 Harvey way out in front, followed by 36 Doug Hill, 92 Dean Clattenburg, 30 Doug Stokes, 02 Mike McKenzie, 99 Greg Seward, 44 Wayne Smith, 24
Scott Livingston at a PEI.
The Livingston car from Prince Edward Island. And then there's a little bit of a break following the Livingston car. We have Terry Clattenburg, Ed Hayden,
Doug Hill certainly seems to be doing a good job at holding off 92 Dean Clattenburg.
He's certainly holding off one hot runner, with Dean being 5th in the points in the School Fast 5.
Doug Hill has only run a limited field this year. I believe this is probably his 5th race of the season out of the 15 that MASCAR runs.
And a very good showing today with the limited number of laps under his belt.
Lap 50 is being shown halfway.
Oh, we've got action in the backstretch. Doug Stokes had his mirror and half of his trunk full of car 99 and car 02. Mike McKenzie's been leaning on the back of Doug Stokes for many laps now. That time they actually did make contact, and Greg Seward was able to get by. Now, that's certainly going to help Greg in his points chase. There in 92 gets by Hill. Oh, Hill's gone to the pits. Doug Hill having a great run.
Greg Hebert and Doug Hill both pulled off into the pits. I'm not sure if Doug Hill has a flat tire or what's wrong with him. His car just seemed to slow right down.
From what I can see in the pits, I just see them dropping the window netting. I hope he's not out for the day. Meanwhile, back out front, Cy Harvey's starting to lap cars. The 24 of Scott Livingston is also making a trip into the pits. Cy Harvey making his way around Pierre Arsenal. He's soon to be in the real hornet's nest. Pulling up on the one car of Danny Eddy. Right in front of Danny Eddy is the 13, side by side with the 33.
13 is a lap car.
And just as he reached them, they all went single file, and he's able to work his way by. It would appear that some of these drivers are observing the passing flag today. They saw the leader coming up behind them and allowed him to go by.
That's to make the car aware that the lead car is coming up and to be aware of that. Of course, if the car can race with the leader, that's fine.
Oh.
But if they can't, well, then that's another thing. .44.02 and 2 just got ahead of 30, Doug Stokes.
There's a lot of activity all through the race amongst that pack.
Fourth position and on is quite close. The top three are spread quite far apart.
And right now the first car is approximately 1/2 lap ahead of fourth place. Cy Harvey's having a lot of trouble getting by a 33 car. Bob Hill, oh, and I think he just pushed the doorbell there to get by.
Sometimes Cy is a little aggressive.
Meanwhile, I believe that Dean Clattenburg is slowly pulling into Cy Harvey, a little bit at a time. And as we go, of course, Cy, each of these cars is harder and harder to pass.
The interval between 1 and 2 seems to be closing up a bit. That could be because Cy now is going through lap traffic.
He makes his way around the outside of George Koskulik. He's got to work himself away all the way around the outside of these 3 cars. In the meantime, while all this is going on, Dean Clattenburg is in open track. Of course, these other cars that Cy Harvey's lapping are amongst the battle amongst themselves.
Yes, they are fighting for position as well. 3 wide there in turn 1.
Next car Harvey is attempting to pass is Sean Conrad. And again, he finds his own particular way of passing. Now Cy Harvey is in front of 3 cars battling, and Dean Clattenburg is right behind those same 3 cars. I suspect that Dean will use a little more finesse in passing these cars.
The top car, of course, is 49 with second 92, third 99 Greg Seward, fourth is 44 Wayne Smith.
Then I believe it's Mike McKenzie and Terry Clattenburg. Now this bunch of cars holding up Dean Clattenburg now has allowed Greg Seward to pull right in with him. So now second and third position is definitely a battle. Now amongst those jumble of cars, second and third position, 92 and 99. Like Dean's going to try the outside of George Koskulik. George has been involved in a couple of excursions today, but by no means has slowed him down.
26, Merle Kerr came off the pit and then decided to go back out into the race.
leader goes by, 0-0, Scott Fraser. Scott not usually in the position of being lapped. Next he'll be working on Pierre Arsenault. Meanwhile, the 92 car has finally cleared 6 George Kosgoliks, and Seward follows behind him.
Cy Harvey is well ahead of the second and third place cars.
Now the second and third place car do have some open road in front of them, open track.
I heard Steve's the flag man is telling the drivers there's 5 laps to go in this race.
Now Cy Harvey is just cleared a lot of traffic.
I would say he's got it pretty tied up unless in the next 4 laps something unusual happens.
And that something unusual is not necessarily unusual because it does happen.
As they say, it isn't over till it's over.
Second and third position is definitely going to be a battle, though. Both those cars involved in heavy traffic. White flag is out. And Cy Harvey just sees open track ahead of him.
And he's coming up to the checkered flag. The race is his.
And Cy Harvey takes a checkered flag. 2 in a row here at Petty for Cy Harvey.
Followed by 92, Dean Clattenburg, 99, Greg Seward. Oh, was he ahead? I could be wrong. I could be wrong. No.
Okay, let's take a rundown now and have a chat with some of the winners.
Cy, this is your second win on this track. Are you starting to get a feel for it, or?
Well, pretty good track here. You don't have to use a lot of brake on this track, and it's banked pretty good. And if you can get a few brakes early in the race and set a pretty fast clip, the guys have trouble with the traffic. So I think I was lucky today. I got out front there and set a pretty fast pace. And it's hard to get through that traffic when they're going.
You got off right away, and you seem to have more trouble instead of passing the people in front of you was with the lapping traffic. Did you find that was the hardest part of the race?
Yeah, it is quite hard here because the track is narrow, and you get a lot of the guys, like they'll be down a couple of laps, and you'll get guys racing with other people, and you'll get race upon race, and you're behind them. Well, you can't really expect a guy to pull over and cancel his race when you're there, but I mean, they're pretty good. Once in a while, if you work them a little bit, you kind of got to get a little bit rough with them now and again. But I find as soon as you give them a shot, like same way at me, if I'm running at the back and somebody comes up, gives me a tap or a little push or something, I know they're faster, so it's only the courteous thing to do to pull over. So
next time on this track, what are you going to do to try and keep cool?
That's a good question, isn't it? We only race one race at a time, so I guess, I don't know. We'll see. We'll just have to see.
Congratulations, Cy.
Thanks a lot. Pfizer sign here. We got to get the sponsors in, you know. We love these fellows sponsoring us. And oh yeah, I'd like to thank all the people for coming out here. You know, that's what makes us run harder, the public. When we get a bigger crowd, the harder we run. Thanks.
Here we have Dean Clattenburg in car number 92, the second place winner. Dean, when did you think you really felt that you were going to place in this race?
I got up around third or fourth behind my father in the Dynamax machine, and I felt that I was there. and the car was real good, but it kind of went away after a little while. He had a mishap, and 36 had a mishap, so I got through for second.
What's it like racing against your dad?
Oh, it's fun. We have a lot of fun. Rivalry a little bit, but it's all in fun. I got a real good crew behind me. They worked really hard this week and last week and all summer, so it's really got me where I am.
What would you say would be the key to your prosperity in the past couple of years? Winning the what was the award that you won the award for?
We got the rookie championship in '92, and I won 3 consecutive modified championships, open wheel and back home before that. So the key to my success right now is the people behind me, my crew, and Pierce Atlantic Seafoods. They keep me going every week there. I can't do it.
Okay, thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thanks, Pierce Atlantic Seafoods and my crew. They worked real hard for this.
Oh, we didn't win. We came third, but we're quite happy with third place, starting back, mid-back. In the field, we're happy that we finished third and finished in one piece.
It's a little bit of a rough race. When did you start noticing things going a little awry? Is it the weather, the heat, or just the track?
No, the heat doesn't bother you too much when you're going, and the cautions is when it really bothers you. But we had 5 or 6 cars that were running pretty close together, and they were all bunched up, and I was stuck behind them, and got a little dicey there, but we managed to make it through in one piece, so we're quite happy with third place.
Thank you very much.
And here's how the point standings rounded out after today's race. Greg Seward maintains the lead with 43 points over Terry Clattenburg. Ed Hayden is just behind him, followed by Dean Clattenburg and Mike McKenzie. We were unable to get the final race of the year, but here's the final standings for MASCAR 1993. There you have it, folks. I hope to see you all back at the track next year.
Customers all over the place, so we can put down all the next people involved in that.